And hello one and all, and welcome to my Battleground card predictions video. In this video, I'm going to attempt to predict what matches we might see take place at the upcoming Battleground pay-per-view, airing live on the WWE Network on July 24th from Washington, D.C. We already have one announced match. That, of course, is the Shield Triple Threat match. Dean Ambrose defending his WWE title against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. However, it remains to be seen if that match will continue to happen due to Roman Reigns' suspension. We'll have to see if that has any ramifications on him being in that triple threat title match. But with that out of the way, based on what we saw happen on Monday Night Raw, this is what I'm predicting that we will see at the upcoming Battleground pay-per-view. On the pre-show, I have Sheamus versus Apollo Crews. I feel that the feud between them is not over based on the way that Apollo Crews won with the roll-up on Sheamus. Sheamus obviously looked visibly upset. So I think we will definitely see these two, go at it again. And I think this time, just due to the way that I have this card structured, it would be a match destined to take place on the pre-show. So I'm predicting Sheamus versus Apollo Crews 2. I then have the New Day defending their tag team championships against the Wyatt family in a 6-man tornado tag team match. This way you can get all members of the New Day involved, all members of the Wyatt family involved. It would be certainly a kick-ass match, a match that I would want to see. I'm excited that it looks like we're going in this direction for Battleground, and pits two of my favorite teams together, so what more can you say? So that's why I added the 6-man tornado tag team match stipulation for this, and it would certainly be one hell of a match. I then have, since The Miz is still filming the Marine, whatever the next Marine movie, we need to have a number one contender for the IC title for when he comes back. That way you keep the title relevant, because it's been... you don't want to go 2 straight pay-per-views without having something to do with the Intercontinental Championship. That's why I came up here with a Fatal 4-Way match to determine the number one contender for the IC title. Cesaro versus Baron Corbin versus Kalisto versus Dolph Ziggler. You throw all 4 of these guys in the ring together, they could go out there and have a pretty tremendous match. My odds-on favorite for that would be for Cesaro to win, face The Miz at SummerSlam, end that feud, tie it up because Cesaro became so close to becoming Intercontinental Champion, and then he can finally win the title off The Miz. But I feel like you need to have some type of presence here on this show for the IC title, unless Miz is of course going to defend it if he comes back. It might be wrapping up shooting of the Marine movie, so we'll have to see. But this is my way to keep relevance towards the IC title, and also at the same time establish a number one contender for that title. I then have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, the reason I made this a Falls Count Anywhere match was due to the fact that there was a lot of brawling on Monday night. They brawled on the stage, they brawled in the back. So if you make this Falls Count Anywhere, there could literally be a Falls Count anywhere, as in the match stipulation. It could be outside the ring, it could be in the crowd, it could be backstage. I think it would be fitting based on the way that they're playing up the build. Along with their personal animosity, this would be a tremendous match, and if they're going to move them to separate brands, it would be a good way to blow off this feud for the time being until they're back together on the same brand. I also have on my card Rusev versus Titus O'Neil in a no DQ match for the United States title. Up the ante at the no DQ stipulation, just due to the way that these two have also been brawling. Monday night, Titus stormed to the ring and he laid in some heavy rights and lefts on Rusev due to the comments that Rusev made towards his kids. So it would only make sense, you add the no DQ stipulation. They can get away with a little bit more in this match than the previous match. And I'd like to see Rusev and Titus O'Neil definitely go at it again. I think it would be a very good match. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm predicting a no DQ match for the United States Championship between Rusev and Titus O'Neil. Then have Becky Lynch versus Natalya in a straight-up singles match. This one's fairly obvious based on Natalya turning heel. Becky Lynch at Money in the Bank, and I think this could be a good feud for the women's division. It's a fresh feud. Never seen Becky versus Natalya. And with the dynamics of Becky being the face, Natalya being the heel, you give them enough time, they could go out there, they could have a pretty damn good match. So it looks like we're going to be having 2 women's matches on this card. I think that is definitely a positive for the women's division. Speaking of the women, as we all know, Sasha Banks made her return to Raw this past Monday. So it got me thinking, you got to save that Charlotte versus Sasha match for SummerSlam. But what I would do on this show is I would have a triple threat. I would have Charlotte defending against Paige and Sasha Banks. That way you keep the potential matchup between Charlotte and Sasha Banks at SummerSlam. You don't want to have that happen at Battleground. You got to save that. And, you know, Paige does have her stake to claim due to becoming so close to beating Charlotte on Monday night. And the interaction between all 3 women, you know, we saw that. So I felt like what a perfect way out of having to do Charlotte versus Sasha. Now you have to save that. So that's why I proposed the triple threat idea. And then finally, I have Team Styles versus Team Cena. I want to save John Cena versus AJ Styles 2 for SummerSlam. So what better way around it, you know, with all the involvement of the club, than you have a team match, a 6-man match. Obviously on Team Styles, you would have AJ, Anderson, and Gallows. On Team Cena, I have Cena himself, Randy Orton, and a debuting Finn Balor. I feel like it could be Finn Balor. I was also throwing out Cesaro. There are a number of possible candidates if they choose to go down this route. But I want to save that second match between Cena and Styles for SummerSlam on the grand stage. And I feel like this would be a perfect stopgap as a way to get us there. And one revision that I did make to the triple threat match, if Roman Reigns is not allowed to participate in that match for some reason, if they take him out of it, I was thinking a good replacement would be Chris Jericho. You could do Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins versus Chris Jericho, and you could save that Shield triple threat match for SummerSlam, where it probably should take place on the grandest stage of the summer. You could throw in a guy like Chris Jericho, a good veteran. He obviously wouldn't win, but he would just be a good guy to throw in there. You know, Jericho, veteran, he does it all. He has history with Dean Ambrose. Obviously, they have feuded the last several months, so you could go off. He also laid a claim on Monday night saying, why isn't he the one to face Dean Ambrose? So if they do choose, they could choose to remove Roman Reigns from that triple threat. If they do, I think Chris Jericho would be a suitable replacement in that match. So yeah, guys, those are my card predictions for Battleground on July 24th. Let me know what you think of them. Let me know what predictions you might possibly have for Battleground. Always enjoy getting that feedback down below. So thank you all for watching. Guys, I will see you in my next video. Until then, peace.